for a special broadcast, a special discussion here. This is about the super spreader event. This is viewers at a point where you're looking at some bit of good news that has started to come in. India, in fact, after 40 long days, has recorded a significant dip in the coronavirus cases that has now fallen below the 2 lakh mark. In the last 24 hours or so, about 1.96 lakh cases is what the country has reported. We actually have to ensure that the cases continue to fall. There is no transmission. We continue to follow COVID appropriate behavior. But what are these super spreader events and should they be allowed to happen? That's a question I want to take to our entire panel of guests. I say good evening to Dr. Shashank Joshi, who's a member of the COVID task force in Maharashtra, joining us in the broadcast from Mumbai. Dr. Subhash Salunke, who's an advisor to the government of Maharashtra on COVID, and Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who's a senior pediatrician and chairman of the Nephron Clinic, joining us on the broadcast from Delhi. I want to take this first to Dr. Joshi. Dr. Joshi, sir, with everything that we have seen over the past month or so, with every effort that, doctors, specialists like you, your entire team actually has put in, do you think this is literally the time to allow any super spreader event, whether that is, a protest that has been called by the farmers that happens tomorrow, or whether that was a story of a couple getting married in a flight with people on board, but not many of them wearing masks?
It's absolutely clear that there has to be a zero tolerance for any of these events. Zero tolerance means absolute zero tolerance. There cannot be a cluster or a crowding event at all. The entire battle which we are fighting, and now we are seeing some signs of hope, will be all devastated. And therefore, absolutely the governmental authorities and administration under the Disaster Act should take the most stringent action, including punitive action. And there has to be zero tolerance for any form of cluster or crowding event. We have suffered enough because of clustering and crowding events. And right now, this is absolutely when the second wave is just about showing the early signs of abating. There has to be a zero tolerance, and there has to be some law and order maintained. And I think this is criminal if this is happening.
That's a good point that you do make, Dr. Joshi. And Dr. Subhash, I come to you, but I come to you with a question. The point is, we really do not need anyone right now to tell us that this is wrong. We do not need anyone, even the government, authorities, district administration, to tell us that what you are thinking of doing, whether that's a protest, whether that is a march, getting married on a flight without people, following COVID appropriate behavior is wrong. This is something that all of us need to realize that this cannot be tolerated. This should not even be thought about right now.
Absolutely. I think this behavior of so-called educated literate and so-called uneducated and illiterate is practically same. And as Dr. Joshi has very bluntly and very clearly put it, this is not an act that can be pardoned. We know that such events have resulted into deaths of innocent people. A lot of people not only have lost their lives, their families have been destroyed because of financial implications that they have incurred because of their stay in the hospital, their admission in the hospital, their treatment. So it's overall disastrous for the individuals, for families, and for nation. Now, what more do you expect? Don't you understand that as a citizen who is allowed by our constitution some freedom, but you can't misuse it? And in this situation, why don't you think of yourself? Because all of us are comparatively selfish people. So be selfish. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Please don't go in this direction. No super spreading event. As a matter of fact, we feel that religious, political, and whatever, absolutely no, the authorities must not allow this to take place. I know some of these decisions are likely to be unpopular, but like in Maharashtra, the Honorable Chief Minister said, in the interest of the Maharashtra, he is willing to take some of the unpopular decisions. So I think everywhere in India, irrespective whether you are in Maharashtra, Delhi, Punjab, wherever you are, no super spreading event should be allowed, irrespective what they are, whether they are from a particular religion group or they are from farmers or this. You have every right to agitate, but is this the time? You have a democratic right. We understand that. You may feel that you have been deprived of your rights. There is injustice. That is fully understood. Without going into that direction, our appeal is only one, that you must resist and you must desist from, moving in this direction, at least for next few months. Let this particular pandemic reach a stage where it won't be a public health emergency, it won't be a public health challenge, then jolly well do whatever you think democratically and legally appropriate.
And Dr. Subhash Salunke, I think you've outlined that point pretty well. Before I take this to Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, there is earlier a reaction that one of our colleagues actually had picked up from one of the protesters close to the Singhu border. Now, I'm not sure if our producer Raisa is able to pull out that reaction or not, but I heard it, so Sanjeev Bagai, I must be able to say that to you verbatim. The reporter asked कि आपको डर नहीं लगता उन प्रोटेस्टर से, कि आपको डर नहीं लगता यहाँ पर कोरोना है? वो कहते हैं कौन सा कोरोना है, यहाँ कोई कोरोना नहीं है, सिर्फ राजनेता अपनी राजनीतिक रोटियां सेक रहे हैं और हमें डराने के लिए, हमें भगाने के लिए, डॉक्टर बगाई, ही सेड कि कोरोना का झूठा भ्रम फैला रहे हैं. I mean, how do you deal with this level of, I don't even know what to call this, but this is not just carelessness, this is criminal. This is criminal, and why should all the onus just be on you people, on the governments, on the district administration? Why not on people? Why not on each one of us individually to ensure that realize that there is a problem? Only if you realize, Dr. Bagai, that the threat is real, will you be able to do something about it?
Good evening everyone. So let me come out really hard and with facts. There is no doubt that this is a super spreader event. This has been happening for the last almost 6 months. This is a volcanic eruption and it's spitting venom out as far as the infection is concerned. The transmission is obviously explosive. These Mickey Mouse people who are politically motivated and selfish to the core and who are harming the interest of the nation and actually waging a treason against the nation by spreading this infection back into the villages to the elders, then they come back again and they go back again and spread it. So it's a vicious cycle. And imagine the full country is in lockdown and these little super spreaders are having a merry time there at the border. The second point is that this is irrespective of their congregation, their number. Most of them are not wearing masks. Social distancing has gone for a huge toss. We know that this transmission is airborne. It can travel up to 60 feet. This is going to be a huge disaster for the entire country. You can't have these bushfires raging in different parts of the country and the other country trying to survive. Ask the 3 lakh families who have lost their near and dear ones. Ask the 1,000 doctors who've lost their near and dear ones. Ask the so many millions of people in India who've suffered socially and economically. This is the most insensitive, most irrational and politically motivated jokers, nothing short of jokers, and this strike is illegal. If you have a right to agitate, you have a right to do a protest, but you cannot block public roads. You're causing inconvenience to hundreds and thousands of commuters. You're stopping ambulances. You're obstructing blood bank drives. You're obstructing patients from coming in and out of the Delhi NCR. What is more criminal than this? I would request the Supreme Court to take a suo motu action, arrest these guys. These are nothing short of criminals. Arrest these monkeys and put them in jail for 1 year. They will learn the lesson of their life.
Hard words, they're coming in, but I think we need them. But it's not, Dr. Bagai, just about what's happening about these protests. There you can just say that, okay, these could be possibly politically motivated. But Dr. Shashank Joshi and my producer Raisa tells me that we actually do have images of this wedding on a plane that took place. The plane of this couple who decided to host a lot of their relatives, a lot of their near and dear ones, Dr. Joshi, on a flight from Madurai to Bangalore. About 160 odd people, I think, were on this flight. We are going to be putting out those images. Dr. Joshi, these are people who are empowered. These are people who know what coronavirus is. These are people who are reading news, who are watching news. Do they have no information, no sensitivity? Can something like this be allowed where people, take off their masks, there is no social distancing, and at the end of it, nothing happens?
This is completely irrational, objectionable, and criminal, as Dr. Bagai and Dr. Salunke said. I think there has to be a complete zero tolerance. These are educated, literate people. If they are going to set such examples, this is not only disastrous but detrimental to the whole COVID movement. And I think Government of India as well as the courts should take most stringent action and punitive action, including the airline, because I think this is not this should not be tolerated at all. There is nobody who is wearing a mask. People are having a party, and I think this is just not acceptable. And what type of example are we setting? Are we going to see everybody has a right to enjoy, everybody has a right to protest? That should be done in an appropriate way at an appropriate time. But when we are ravaging, and particularly in South India, when we are at the peak of the second wave, to set such examples in public eye is shameful and it is reckless behavior. And it is important that we contain this reckless behavior by some punitive action. Though, it is not something which we really, it is very, very painful when people are fighting for their lives. The healthcare workers and the frontline workers are fighting for their lives. You are seeing these type of images. This is really very distasteful, shameless, reckless acts. And as Dr. Bagai and Dr. Salunke said, these need and merit some suo motu cognizance by the courts of the lands as well as by our authorities, so that such events are not taking place, because we are seeding the third wave before even it has happened. The second wave has not even gone. And if these type of events start happening and this type of reckless behavior and people start saying there is no COVID or no corona, I think we will be doomed again.
That is the point, and we just cannot afford to let our guard this time around. We cannot let it down. But gentlemen, what I'm requesting now is for your attention as we put out this breaking development, and this is big. I think this is very, very significant, because after the pharma giant Pfizer actually said that its jab is good enough for kids, you have Moderna putting out some important details about its vaccine. In fact, it goes on to say that its COVID-19 shot works in kids as young as 12. This is a promising bit of news coming in. It says that it strongly protects children as young as 12, a step that could put the shot on track to become the second option for that particular age group in the US. Very, very important, Salunke sir, is that not? Because the next thing that everyone is thinking about is how do we protect our children. So now after Pfizer, Moderna says that its jab is good enough for kids. It gives them adequate immunity. Here, even in India, you're looking at Bharat Biotech's Covaxin that will be beginning its trial on children. That could happen as early as June. Now, what is your assessment, sir, of where we are standing when it comes to vaccinating our children? Dr. Salunke.
I think this is a very, very positive and very encouraging news. And obviously, all of us are apprehensive that the third wave is going to impact the children and also younger generation. That doesn't mean that it is not going to impact and affect the older generation or older people. However, children, because they were more vulnerable due to non-availability of the vaccine, this point is going to be very, very positive. It's going to be a strong weapon in the hands of the both government as well as public health system to protect our children. But please note that in spite of availability of the vaccine, in spite of availability of the strong measures that may be able to help us to treat patients, but the strongest measure is how do we prevent the disease? And that is where the question of COVID appropriate behavior comes in. Let me assure the audience and all of you that one, COVID or corona infection is not going to go away in spite of the vaccine available. Please note, we do not have at this juncture a system in which we will be able to cover 60 crore Indians in next 2-3 months. That's not going to happen. And if it is going to take more time, and if there is possibility of mutation, if there is a possibility of the children getting now not only COVID but its aftermath, the kind of complications, why do we not really focus the attention on measures of prevention which are comparatively easy to be done, and they are in our hands? And that's where these idiotic super spreader events, if somebody is encouraging, let them understand they are detrimental to their own children. And I think those who fail to understand this, they, as my colleagues have already indicated, both Dr. Bagai and Dr. Joshi, I think government, normally, we are public health and doctors who are not interested in any of this politics business. Politicians let them do whatever they want. But as the citizens, as the public health and doctors ourselves, we feel really pained to see that both the leadership, the people in general, so-called literate and educated, if they are not going to follow this, they are harming the children, they are harming their parents, they are harming their grandparents. So vaccine, wonderful. It's a good and very powerful weapon. But vaccine alone is not going to solve the problem. We have to, as a nation, we'll have to continue at least next 6 months a strong COVID appropriate behavior. No alternative, no choice. Let's follow that.
I think these are words of wisdom. Each one of you gentlemen actually has so much to tell all of us. And if we even, I think, Dr. Bagai, start listening to little bits of whatever you all have been, saying here again and again, day in and day out, right from the beginning of this pandemic, the situation would have been different. But Dr. Bagai, let's not go back into the past. Let's talk about today, let's talk about tomorrow and the future. Now, like what Dr. Joshi and Dr. Salunke said, there is some bit of good news that at least the cases have started to come down. But at this point, Dr. Bagai, what is most important for all of us? There is, yes, a lot of push on vaccination, but as we all know that with the growing demand, we do not have that much of a supply, and to vaccinate everyone in the country might just take a little bit longer. Till then, what is it that we all should be doing? I mean, this is common sense, but I still would want you to tell all our viewers, what should they be doing?
I have a simple 4 or 5 point agenda for all the people who are watching this program. Irrespective, before the first vaccine, in between the first and the second, and after the second, do not remove your mask for the better part of the next 6 to 12 months. Mask is your only barrier between you and death. And I can tell you this, it's easier wearing a mask than to have tubes down your throat and being put on a ventilator in an ICU. Believe me, that will be distinctly a lot more uncomfortable and painful. Point number 2, every Indian has a moral and social inherent responsibility to our own nation to be a vaccine ambassador. Please promote the cause of vaccination. There should be no vaccine hesitancy. Point number 3, do not go out and socialize. Even after the lockdown is released, please do not attend social parties, do not attend weddings. In fact, weddings should not happen this year really, and do not even entertain at home. Point number 4, please do not believe in mischief mongers and self-styled gurus and self-styled swamis who are promoting nonsense on television and on social media. Believe science, believe data, believe in the doctors. We have struggled very hard, all of us, for the last 16, 17 months. We will not give up. We will overcome this crisis. Stand by us, because we need the entire nation with us.
Yes, I want to give the last word, the last 30 seconds on the show to Dr. Shashank Joshi. Dr. Shashank Joshi, sir, we have all been in a lockdown. We have seen what it feels to be in a lockdown. But sooner or later, we are dealing with coronavirus. It's not going anywhere. But how should our strategy of unlocking be? What would your last 30 seconds of advice be to the government, to the agencies, and to all of us, sir?
Very simple. Number 1, we need to vaccinate as many as possible and saturate our population by vaccination. Number 2, only essential services have to be opened up with strict masking. Number 3, zero tolerance for any crowds or cluster events. These are the three principles. If we do scientifically, appropriately, and correctly, we will win this war in COVID in the next 6 months.
Oh yes, and we have to. We have no choice, but we have to win this for ourselves, for our parents, for our grandparents, for our community, for our neighbors, for our children, for everyone. I think the moment you realize this, the things will begin to change. Dr. Shashank Joshi, Dr. Salunke, Dr. Sajeev Bagai, thank you so much to all of you gentlemen for speaking your mind as clearly as you've done, and it's just a moment of gratitude for all the hard work that all of you, your men, have been putting around. So do not let that hard work go in vain. That's our message to all these super spreaders, wherever you are. Realize the threat is real. Listen to the doctors. Follow science. Thank you all of you for watching. Back on the other side with lots.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.